Viewers, today we're going to review a very well-known VPN. It is actually a product from a famous cybersecurity and antivirus company. As you can see on the screen, I have the Bitdefender homepage open. First, let's log into the Bitdefender Central Control Center. To do this, simply visit bitdefender.com and you'll find the login option at the top. Since I have already signed in, my name is displayed here, otherwise you would see the login icon right in this spot. Now that we are logged in, let's explore the interface. Once you sign in, you'll be directed to Bitdefender Central. By clicking on My Devices, you can view and manage all your registered devices. From here, you can check which specific devices are currently connected to the VPN. For instance, I have one Android device linked and it's showing an at-risk status. If needed, you can easily add more devices from this section. Let's look at the other available features. In the Security tab, it provides a summary of the last 7 days, though there isn't much to see here right now. Moving to the VPN section, you can connect up to 10 devices simultaneously. As you can see, I have one device already set up. Furthermore, it is compatible with Windows, iOS, and macOS. Since I don't currently use any Apple products like an iPhone or a Mac, I'll be demonstrating the features and performance using Android and Windows platforms instead. Other available services include identity theft protection, secure pass, digital identity protection, and parental controls. Please note that these require separate subscriptions and are not included in the standard VPN package. In the My Subscriptions area, you'll see my current plan supporting 10 devices with unlimited traffic. My trial is set to expire on April 9th. I am currently using a trial subscription. You can also get a 7-day free trial through the Play Store during the activation process to see the full range of features. The My Offers tab displays various promotional deals available to you. Once you create your own account, you'll be able to view customized offers there as well. Now let's proceed with the installation on my device so we can test the speed and features. I'll start the download for my Windows PC. As you can see in the top corner, the download has begun, and it's already finished. Now that the file is ready, the installation window has appeared. I'll accept the terms and click Install. It didn't prompt me for a specific installation path, but instead started the setup process directly. Viewers, the setup wizard is now on the screen. I'll click Start Installation. Since the initial file was only about 20 megabytes, it is likely downloading the necessary components from the web to complete the setup. And just like that, the final installation is done. Next, let's open the newly installed Bitdefender VPN app from the Start menu. It's prompting me to log in. Since I already have an account, I'll go ahead and sign in using my email and password. You can also sign in via Google, Apple, or Facebook if you use those to register. If you don't have an account yet, you can easily create one right here. Alright viewers, we are now entering our password and subscription not found. Okay. So initially, it showed that it couldn't find my subscription. This might be a bug, a system bug. And then it shows that I have 3 days remaining. So this is basically the application's interface. As you can see here, the application is visible. Okay, let's close this. You can also see in their web control center on the website that it shows my Windows device is currently active. If we go into the Windows section and click on the option shown, you'll see this. Reactivate your subscription, and a few other options. Since we have 3 days left, we'll go straight into it. 3 days are plenty. We'll use it once to make this video. So let's see what options are available. At the very top, it shows 3 days left and prompts to upgrade. Then there's Settings. Under Settings, we see the general options. Open on startup. I don't need it to open on startup, so I'm turning it off. There's Show Latest Locations and Show Dashboard Data. You can also clear data from here if you wish. For the theme, you can switch to dark mode, but I'll keep it on the light theme for now. Okay, the language is set to English here. You can change the language if you want. There are many languages available. Okay, next is the notification option. You can turn notifications off or keep them on if you prefer. I don't need them, so I'm turning notifications off. After that, help improve Bitdefender. I'm turning this off. There's also Reset All Settings if you want to reset everything. That covers the basic general options. Next, we have the privacy options. Internet Kill Switch. This is a common feature found in most VPNs. You can turn the kill switch on to enable data protection. Ad blocker, if you want to enable the ad blocker, as I do, and the anti-tracker as well. I have turned both of them on. These two features are very useful and are standard in most VPNs, so I've activated them. In the Auto Connect options, we can see the device startup feature. I don't personally need this, so I'm turning it off. There's also an unsecured Wi-Fi option. You can enable this if you feel it's necessary for your usage. Then we have peer-to-peer apps. If you want, you can enable this so the VPN starts automatically when you use file-sharing apps. This functions much like a tunnel, similar to the tunneling options we've seen in other VPNs. Under specific applications or websites, you can also set up tunneling by adding a particular website or application here. I'll keep this off for now. Next is website categories. From here, you can select and manage specific categories. For example, you can turn on the filter for adult content so it remains blocked. There are also options for financial, file sharing, and more with various location settings available. I really like this. There are many extra features here that I haven't noticed in other VPNs before. It's great that these have been included. In the advanced options, you'll find split tunneling, which is also listed separately here. Moving on to protocol, you can see the three most popular protocols have been added: WireGuard, OpenVPN, and IKE2. These are also grouped under an automatic setting, which will automatically switch to the protocol that works best for your connection. Under My Account, you can check your subscription status. My trial subscription is currently active, and you can see the expiration date here. If you have an activation code, you can use it to activate your subscription directly. Below that, we have support and about sections. Now let's go ahead and connect the VPN to see how it performs. I find the main interface very appealing, featuring a worldwide map. The dashboard shows the connection time and includes bandwidth graphs for today, week, and month. It also displays the number of blocked ads and trackers, the amount of secured traffic, and my own IP address. Let's go straight to locations. When you click on it, you can see all the available locations. There's an automatic option for the optimal location. I'll connect using the optimal location first to see which server it picks. It's attempting to connect now. Let's wait a moment. It's now connected. And as you can see, it has connected to a server in Bangladesh, since that is where I am currently located. Now let's check our IP status on where.net. We can see the Bangladesh IP that was assigned. The last digits are .65. Let's compare it to the IP shown in the VPN app, which shows .70. So only the last digits are different. It's not showing the DNS. The ISP is listed as Strong Technology, and the hostname looks like a data center IP. What's really impressive is that the anonymity level is at 100%. In most of the VPNs we've reviewed previously, we usually see 90%. This is one of the few instances where we're seeing a full 100%. Now, let's perform a speed test to check the performance. We'll use Ookla's speedtest.net. We're ready to start. I've clicked go, and the connection is established. The speed test has begun. We're seeing speeds of 150 Mbps, 200 Mbps, and it's even crossing 250 Mbps, nearing 300. It fluctuated a bit and has now stabilized around 200 Mbps. So we've got a stable download speed of 209 Mbps. Now for the upload speed. It initially hit nearly 200 Mbps and is now settling down. This is more than enough for our work. We're seeing a stable upload speed of around 95 to 100 Mbps. The ping is also excellent at 108 ms. This is a very good ping result. Now let's try a different country. We'll go back to locations and test the double hop feature. You'll notice this VPN includes double hop. Let's try the Austria-Germany double hop connection. Let's check the IP on where.net again. The first time we reload, the page fails, so let's give it a moment. On the second attempt, the double hop is connected. It shows a German IP via a provider called Cloudviter, and the anonymity level is now 90%. Let's check the speed for this double hop connection. Since it's bypassing one VPN through another, we wouldn't typically expect extremely high speeds. However, it has already crossed 100 Mbps, then 200 Mbps, and now it's even surpassed 300 Mbps. This is truly remarkable. We're getting a download speed of about 320 Mbps on a double hop system. The upload speed is also over 100 Mbps. I reviewed several VPNs from antivirus companies before, but in my opinion, Bitdefender is superb. It is performing exceptionally well. Now, let's look at something interesting. We can see here that 1.32 gigabytes of data traffic has already been used in this session. It's quite a useful feature, as it shows exactly how much data I've consumed for both uploads and downloads. Next, let's head back to the location settings. Under Double Hop, we'll try the Canada-United States option again to see how it performs. As you can see, the connection request is processing. When using Double Hop, keep in mind that it might take a bit longer to connect. This is because it first connects to one VPN server and then virtually routes through a second one. Since it's connecting through two separate VPN locations, you need to give it a moment. And there we go. Canada and the United States are now connected. Now let's verify our IP address. We'll check to see how this IP is working. As we can see, the IP is provided by the same ISP service provider, identified here as CloudVider. And here you can see that we now have a United States IP address. Alright, let's run a speed test on this connection to see what kind of results we get. I'll click Go and wait a moment for it to connect. Viewers, you can see here that the connection is established. The ping is relatively high at 281 milliseconds. However, despite the high ping, we are still getting quite a decent speed. It's a good sign that the speed remains strong even with a higher ping, though a lower ping would definitely be better. We reached a download speed of about 183 megabits per second, which is close to 200. The upload speed is currently near 100 megabits per second, actually hitting exactly 100 right now. However, the stable speed seems to have dropped a bit. It was over 100, but it is now settled down to around 72 megabits per second. Okay, now let's move away from the double hop option and try some standard country locations. Let's try Bermuda and see how it performs. It's connecting now. As you can see right here, the connection procedure is underway, and there, as you just saw, the connection is now successful. Before we run a speed test for Bermuda, let's first check the IP to see how it's working. I'll reload the page. You can see it reloaded very quickly. This appears to be a data center IP paired with the same ISP, CloudVider. The Bermuda IP is visible here as well. Now, let's go ahead and run a speed test to see what kind of results we get from this location. Viewers, the speed test has started, and right away we're seeing very good speeds. I'm expecting a strong result here. It looks like the speed is stabilizing around 100 megabits per second. Getting a consistent 100 megabits per second from a virtual IP in a country like Bermuda is a very positive sign. And look at the upload speed. It's superb. It has surpassed 200 megabits per second. This is an excellent result and a very good sign in my opinion. We will try 2 more locations to see what kind of speeds they offer. For the next test, we'll connect to the Indian server to see how the speed performs there. As you can see, the Indian server is currently connecting. And now it's connected. Let's take a look. Our Indian IP is pairing with an ISP named Strong Technology. Okay, now let's see what kind of speed we get with this connection. You can see the speed test icon appearing here, and it is pairing with an ISP in Mumbai. The test has started, and we have a fantastic ping of 97. This is actually excellent for gaming. For those of you who enjoy gaming, this IP will be perfect because the download speed is incredibly stable, consistently staying above 100 Mbps. The upload speed is also impressive. It peaked above 300 Mbps and remains stable above 200 Mbps. With speeds like this, you can enjoy a very smooth gaming experience. The other gaming metrics look superb as well. As you can see here, the gaming quality is rated as great. We won't take up too much more of your time as the video is already getting quite long. So what we'll do is test one more location, Manchester, United Kingdom. Let's check what kind of speed we get in this city and country, and with that, we will conclude our video. We will also be releasing a separate video for the Android version of this VPN. Since this video is already long, adding it here would make it excessive, so we're keeping it separate. As you can see, the Manchester IP is now active, and it's showing the same ISP, CloudVider. This is actually a virtual ISP that provides bandwidth across several different locations. In my opinion, the service remains exceptional, and the speeds are consistently stable and impressive. As you can see here, the speed is ramping up nicely. We've mostly stayed above 100 Mbps throughout our tests. We haven't seen it drop below that much. Currently, the bandwidth is nearing 200, and we're seeing a stable speed of 211 Mbps. Now let's see what the upload speed looks like. This is looking good as well. The upload speed has also crossed the 200 Mbps mark. This is a very promising sign. I'd personally rate Bitdefender a solid 10 out of 10. Next, we'll see how it performs on the Android version. I highly recommend subscribing to our channel and staying with us so you don't miss that video. If you've used this VPN before, please let us know your experience in the comment section. There is a 7-day free trial available, so if you're interested, you can use the trial to test it out and see how it works for you. That's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, hit the subscribe button and stay tuned. Have a great day. Bye-bye.